Okay, over general on the mixing board, I'm going to leave everything on that needs to stay on. If you'll notice, this is the gas, as we call it, meaning how loud the whole thing really is. I'll turn that channel on, and I'll usually take it up to 0. Then I'll start all the way down here at the beginning of the mixer, and if you look at this channel, it's just replicated over and over and over again. So every channel, so if you just learn one channel, you'll understand the rest of them. The volume control on this one channel is right here. So if you want to turn the microphone up, you turn it up. You want to turn up wireless handheld number 2, you turn it up. If you want to turn up the wireless lapel number 1 or number 2, or the regular handhelds, you can turn them up to as loud as you want. The music is down here on these 2 channels here. One is the CD player, and the other one's the iPod. And I'll have these 2 marked right here that says iPod and CD player. So you'll turn up the CD player here and turn up the iPod there. So I'm going to go back to channel 1 real quick because I just want to show him a couple things. This red knob is the panning from left to right. I always keep it in the middle. I never turn it any other way. I always keep it in the middle. The white one you're not using right now, the blue ones you will not use right this very second. Now eventually you may, but this is not for you to concern with. Usually if a band came in and wanted to add extra speakers, you would use these. The green are the EQ. And so this is really important. Probably the most important thing about a microphone is the EQ. There's low EQ, there's mid-range EQ, and then there's the high EQ. Just like it is, this is the low part of the voice or low part of anything. So if you ever hear a big woo, then usually you turn down the low. And if you hear a high shrieky noise, you turn down the highs. Mid-range is everything else in the middle. And I've pretty much set the EQ kind of like I would want it to be, which you don't have to do a lot of EQ on these things. They give you a lot just in case you have crappy speakers, but you've got really good ones. There's a compressor. I always keep those straight up, and I always turn down these white knobs. You won't use these. It's more gain, and you don't need that. So if you kind of just mess with one channel at a time, you'll get it. I will say this real quick that people will call me and say, well, my handheld microphones aren't working, this handheld 1 and handheld 2. And I'll say, well, is your phantom power switch on? And they'll go, I don't have a clue what that is. That is this red dot here. That has to always be on with this system. Some systems don't have that nice of a microphone, so they won't use this. The nicer microphones take this, and you have to have that red dot on. That's a huge deal. So besides that, it's really simple. Just turn the volume up because everything else is going to work. I will tell you this, that I would always take and keep my, if you'll notice how I've set up the speaker, go over here to the speaker for a second. Now, I want you to step back a little bit so you can see the microphones too. Oh. The way I have the mic set up right now and the speakers here, this is way wrong. You want to, if we were on a stage right now, I would probably want the mixer over on the side. I would want the 2 Bose speakers to be pointing this way towards the people. And then the microphones, of course, point this way because then there's no feedback. What feedback is the sound coming out of the speaker and going back into the mic and then going about 1,000,000 miles an hour, and it causes all kinds of squeals and crappy sounds. So when you set up your sound system, put it on your stage, point it that way, and then put the microphones here so that the speaker's going that way and the microphone's right here in my face. That's how I would do it. That's how everyone should do it. There'll be more videos coming for whatever you need, but this kind of gets you rolling a little bit.